everybody. I'm joined now by one of I would call him my best friend. I grew up with him in high school. His name's Dan Holguin. How do you pronounce your last name? I always screw it up.
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce, man. So, Holguin. So think about it like this. Think about it like a hole in the ground and then like penguin without the pin. So Holguin.
Now, Dan, let's give our listeners just a little bit of idea about what you do. There's been over 2,000 pounds of fat loss since 2007 that you've helped people with. You're a former contestant on NBC's American Ninja Warrior. You were voted best trainer in Montana in 2015. And I just welcome you to my Facebook page, blog, and it's awesome to finally talk to you after how many years of being out of high school?
Oh, how many years now has it been? Jeez, 11, 12 years.
So let's get talking. The reason why I wanted to interview you is I see your posts on Facebook. You've got these amazing videos that are really inspiring, and I'm one that's really not in shape, and it really motivates me to start thinking about what I need to do to get back in shape, because I got kids now I need to worry about, and I want to grow up. What got you interested in fitness?
You know, I've been into fitness my entire life, to be honest with you. It was never really one thing. But for me growing up, you know, I was always into sports. I was always into activities. And this was before iPhones, iPads, you know. So it was kind of like we were forced to be doing stuff outside. And so when I was a kid, I got into playing baseball. I was into climbing. So from a young age, I was exposed to those types of things.
Now, I remember when I first met you in high school, I think it was like a history class or a math class. It was an English class, as a matter of fact. You were big on the bull riding. You moved up from California, if I'm correct. And I remember you being this tough high school kid that I really didn't want to mess with, because I knew that if you were a bull, you were one tough guy.
It was all an act, I swear. No. Yeah, the bull riding was something that I wasn't good at from the start. You know, it didn't come to me naturally, and it took a lot of time and a lot of perseverance to really find my groove with that. And what's interesting about bull riding is, let me take you back before I even got into that. So what started for me when I was 13, I was in a major car accident. I was walking in a crosswalk, and I was ran over by a car. Now, I was ran over by a car one time, and if that wasn't enough, she ended up backing over me and driving over the top of me again. So 3 times total by the same car. Long story short, obviously I survived, but at that point in my life, you know, I was 13, and I had a lot of questions going through my mind, like, why was I spared? You know, when people die for less every single day, right? So it led me on this quest to find out exactly what I was saved for. And along the path so far came bull riding, and it was something that my father did when he was younger. He didn't ride bulls necessarily, but he rode bucking horses, saddle-bronc, bareback horses. So I had some familiarity with that. So I just thought, you know, well, maybe this is my calling, so let's try this. And so I dedicated a large part of my life to it. Ended up finding a little bit of success with it. Found out that I was pretty decent. I was given a rodeo scholarship to college for it. But that wasn't enough. That wasn't what my passion, my calling was. So it was on to the next thing after that.
How does that tie into kind of what you're doing with right now?
Well, the biggest thing I can say is that it's a dance, you know. Riding a bull is a lot like working in your job. It's a lot like playing a sport, because you end up being the player, you end up being the coach, you end up being the mentor, because it's a singular activity. It's not like you rely on, you know, a group of people or a team of people to help you along the way. And you can have mentors and associates, but, you know, for the most part, riding bulls and working within your passion, you're going to find that a lot of time you're by yourself, or you have a very limited group of people around you. So I think at an early age, I was able to kind of get some of those concepts down where I was relying on myself for the most part to get better.
talk a little bit about your Fit Life Boot Camp, and I know that you're really big on promoting that. Tell us a little bit about what that program is.
Fit Life Boot Camp is a all-inclusive community workout, and it's a program that's designed to build strength. It's a program that's designed to burn lots of fat and make lifestyle changes. Now, this is something that's more than just show up, get a good workout in, and then leave. You know, what I've created with Fit Life Boot Camp is a community of like-minded people who are all on that same path, who are all trying to get better and who uplift each other and who are in the mindset of doing whatever it takes to make those necessary changes. I care about the people that come into my program, and I only want to work with the serious people. So if you're in my program, it's because I see something in you that says, okay, this person is ready for change, you know, and that's why I want it to be a group of people that are all on that same path so that we can all hold each other accountable, uplift each other, and inspire each other, and hopefully inspire others in the community to get started and do the same as well.
Now, all the listeners out there, I want you to check out Dan's website because it's really inspiring. I read a lot of the profiles of the people that you've helped out, Dan, and a lot of these people are from various types of lifestyles. There's business people, there's people that are athletes. In fact, both of our good friend Lex Hilliard's former football player in the NFL. He's also, I do believe, been with you at one point. I mean, this program that you have, it's not like The Biggest Losers. It's not like all the other TV shows that you see on. It's your specific program designed specifically by you. And if you look at the results on your website of the customers that you've had, your clients, it's amazing. What has been your biggest success in one of your clients? And what's that one person that you were like, this person blew me away?
Oh, wow. That's a good question because a lot comes to my mind. You know, and in the most recent times, two come to mind, and I want to share these both because they're different types of people. One came to me after losing 100 plus pounds and gaining it all back, right? And when she came to me, she was, again, over 100 pounds overweight and was just kind of at a point where it's like, I'm either going to change or I'm going to die because of my health, because of my weight. My body just can't take it anymore. And this woman ended up being one of the hardest working people that I've ever had in my program. And she's lost to date now 125 pounds since last July. And right now it's May 2016, and she started in July of 2015. So that was an incredible transformation that I was able to be a part of and see what went into all of that. So that was one. The other one that stands out in my mind is a woman that came to me with fibromyalgia, and if you're not sure what that is, it's a disease that's most commonly found in women, but it affects the central nervous system, and there's a lot of areas on the body that are really painful to the touch. And so this woman has had fibromyalgia for 15 years. 15 years, and she could barely walk. I mean, when she came in to work with me, you know, she's like, well, I've been using these 3-pound dumbbells, and that's it, and walking, and that's all. You know, and then after about 7 months of us working together, she went from 3-pound dumbbells and barely able to walk to training for the upcoming Spartan race here in Montana. And if you think in terms of what she had to go through in those 7 months, that's no easy feat. So, I mean, it was pretty incredible to see. And now she's a personal trainer.
What advice can you give to someone that is not confident in how they look and how they feel about themselves?
Sure.
And the ability to change?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the biggest thing you got to remember is that you matter. You know, if you feel like nobody cares about you, if you feel like you don't matter, if you feel insecure about it, you know what? I care about you. I think you matter. And we all deserve to be healthy. We all deserve to have an incredible life and an incredible lifestyle. And you're never too far away from it. The biggest thing, though, that you have to get past is stepping outside of your comfort zone, because that's where the magic happens. That's where you see real, lasting change. but you have to be brave enough to accept that challenge of stepping out of your comfort zone. I feel like we're almost wired to sit inside of our comfort zone, right? Mm-hmm. So just step outside for a day, even if you're doing small stuff like I don't know, 5 push-ups, 10 push-ups, squats at the house. You don't even have to leave the house. There's plenty you can do in your living room. So you just gotta put forth the efforts in small daily deposits of commitment over time.
Well, you even had a Facebook video post of one day you were at home thinking that you wanted to go on the treadmill, but instead you wanted to go out in the woods, and it was raining, and it didn't matter to you. The fact is that you were out there, you were grateful to be alive, and your eyes were wide open. That's inspiring. A lot of people don't look at life that way. Yeah. A lot of people don't wake up and say, okay, what am I grateful for today? And that's one thing that you actually suggest doing, isn't it right?
Absolutely. What I do is I have a simple gratitude practice, and this doesn't have to be one of those weird woo-woo kind of things, but all it is simply the first thing you do in the morning when you open your eyes, first off is you should be grateful that you're able even to do that, But then think of a few other things that you may be grateful for that day. Maybe you're grateful that you've got both legs and both arms. Maybe you're grateful that you get to work in your passion every day. Maybe you're grateful that you have a car to get to work in and you're not having to ride the bus. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you acknowledge it, and acknowledge it daily. And I promise to be a better person for it.
The way that you put things out there in perspective, it makes me think, and I'm sure now that there's people listening to this podcast right now, that they're thinking, you know what, maybe I have the ability to do this. Now, there's a couple things that I do want to touch base on, because I know that we're very limited on time here. Let's talk about the major thing that I was really proud of. I'm here on the East Coast, rather. I'm looking on Facebook, and I see a post from you saying, I'm going to be on NBC's America Ninja Warrior. Now, I was pumped. Yeah. We watched that, and my wife and I were like, well, we're huge fans. I was like, well, you got to see this kid. He's the toughest kid I know. So tell us what your experience was there, and what did you learn from it, and how are you using that experience in your life now?
It's incredible. So Ninja Warrior was one of those things that I initially just applied for just to be out of my comfort zone, because I knew that it was something that would definitely push me to another level of training. And I think that at that point in my life, I wanted to try something new. I wanted to try something out of the box. So I applied for it. I trained my butt off for it, and ended up getting a call, surprisingly enough. I didn't expect it, to be honest. But what was really cool about it was getting to the location to where we were filming, and this was in Kansas City, Missouri. And you're surrounded by 150 other people who are either ex-professional athletes, who are medical doctors, who are stay-at-home moms and dads, people from all walks of life, that all were on that same path of being healthy, being happy, being positive, looking at the bright side of life. I mean, they were all just very inspiring people. And I think what stuck out for me most was the fact that it rained the entire second night of filming. And throughout 12 hours of filming in the rain, not one time did I ever hear anybody complain about the rain, complain about the weather, how cold it was. They were just grateful to even be there in the first place. And for me, that was powerful. Mm-hmm. And so to answer your last question about how I'm using those experiences in my life now, I saw what kind of impact that it had on the kids. I mean, I had kids come running up to me from all over it. I didn't even know these kids, but they just wanted to give me a high five. They just wanted to take a picture. It was so incredible to see the impact that it had on these kids. And so I'm transferring that energy into a program here in Montana now for our community and for our kids called Montana Kids Ninja Warrior. And basically what I'm doing is having a summer camp. That's actually a year-round camp, but having a camp that focuses on all of the obstacles that you see on TV, salmon ladder, the warped wall, the cannonballs, all that stuff. And I'm structuring it so that kids can get an experience with those same obstacles, so they can get a feel for what it would be like to be on TV and to be under the lights and to have those experiences. And I think it's going to be a really successful program. I'm really excited for it.
Are you going to make another appearance or another try at American Ninja Warriors?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was training for season 8, which is being filmed right now, and unfortunately I didn't get a call this year, but that's okay. I'm refocused and putting my energy back into training for another season. So season 9, I'm hoping to be back then.
Now, I know there's a lot of film people in the Flathead Valley. Has anybody contacted you as far as having a local show, as far as for kids and fitness and using what you're doing with that?
You know, I haven't had anybody specifically reach out for me, but I do have a show idea in the works. I can't talk about it too much yet, but, you know, one of the big things that's involved with it is running a campaign for somebody that would fit the bill to basically come under my wing for 6 to 8 months and basically go through a series of lifestyle changes with me one-on-one. But it's something that I'm definitely pursuing.
Well, now, the nice thing, too, is you do have those videos, and I do notice that you do have videos where you come out and say, hey, this is the type of workout you can do. Do you recommend maybe 1 to 3 repetitions of it? And I think that's great, because not everybody who goes to the gym or has a membership at a gym, sometimes they just walk in and they go, okay, I'm going to use that one. And they really don't know how to use it. But with your videos, they can kind of get an idea of how to do it and do it the right way, but also make sure that they're going to use it to their benefit to become stronger and healthier.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what it's all about. It's about empowering other people to either get on the same path or to do something similar. But what we're trying to do is create change, and I think that those videos help to do so.
And if people who are not from the Flathead Valley that are listening want to ask you questions, I'm sure that you're more than willing to email or get in contact with them back and forth. You do have the ability to do videos, and maybe that's another great way for you to come up with ideas for new videos. But
Absolutely.
I really encourage everyone to talk to Dan if you're really wanting to change your life and get into that mindset and that. So, Dan, anything else you want to add? Any up-and-coming events that you're a part of or you're starting up?
You know, we've got a lot of good things in the works right now. One of the most exciting things is something that's going on locally here, and it's an event that I'm helping to put money on, or to put on and help raise money for. I'll know more about that in a couple weeks, and maybe I can get back to you and give you some details so that we can share it with the people. But a couple of big things coming up that I can talk about. First off is our annual fundraiser that we have here in Kalispell for local charities. And we're going to have a 5K here at Lawrence Park. We're going to have a barbecue, a carnival for the kids. And I believe that's going to be right around the beginning of July. Now, all the proceeds are going to benefit Montana Special Olympics. And this is something that we do every year, and I think last year we raised almost $2,000 for local kids in the Kalispell area. And it was such a wonderful event, and I'm really looking forward to that one this year.
That's great. And anytime you're helping out the Special Olympics, that is something special. You flourished into this person that's an amazing person to live by, to look at, and I give you props. I give you props because, you know, especially in the valley where we're from, yes, there's quite a few people, but when you hear people succeeding, Brock Osweiler, Lex Hilliard, I mean, there's a lot of other people that have come out of the Flathead that have really succeeded. So I wanted to bring you onto my page and to get people to know you in case they haven't known you yet.
I appreciate that. I'm very grateful you brought me on.
Now, last and finally, if you are interested at home and you're in the Flathead Valley and you're really interested and you feel motivated, give Dan a call. Dan, how can they get a hold of you?
You know, I'm on social media everywhere. You can find me primarily on Facebook, just by doing a simple search of my name, Dan Holguin or Dan Holguin Fitness. I'm also on the web at danholguinfitness.com. But I'm also on other social media sites. You can find me everywhere if you just search for me. I've got a YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, all that.
And Dan, I really appreciate the time that you're given to talk to you, and it's so great to see, like I said, that you're doing so well with your life, and you're doing something positive and encouraging, and that's something that I'm trying to promote as well, of being inspiring and believing and impacting people in a way that is better than what's going on in the world today, because it's getting nasty. And there needs to be more people that have that type of mindset like you. And I tell you what, if you want more information, look this guy up. Once again, tell them your website one more time.
It's Dan Holguin Fitness. So Dan, DanHolguin. danholguinfitness.com. If you have a quick question or something, Facebook would probably be fast. Just message me there, and I'll get back with you.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people, including me, that's going to support you, and hopefully we'll see you again on that show. But congratulations on everything that you've done, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it.